us, yeah?
Yes. Hello, everybody. Here we are, one more week in the lockdown. We're almost going to finish this lockdown, no? And here with me, I have Craig Wealand from Mansión del Inglés. Wait a minute.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hello.
Oh, hello. And also English podcast. Don't forget to listen to it. This is the best British English you can get, I'm sure.
Hello, Gemma. So, Gemma's just joined us.
Yes.
Good to see you with us again, Gemma.
Gemma. And then I am Mónica Stocker, co-hosting this Facebook Live with Craig. And I'm the author of El Blog para Aprender Inglés and Blog del Inglés. This is the new blog because the other one was too old. And so I started a new blog. And today, what's the topic for today, Craig?
Today we're talking about funny idioms. So we have a selection of idioms which are kind of funny, and we're going to explain them to you. And you might know some of them, you might not know them, but we hope you'll enjoy looking at these idioms with us. Hello to Olga, who's also joined us. And hello to everyone if you're watching the replay and you're not watching live. Thank you for watching the replay.
Yeah. And the first thing I want to ask you, Craig, what is an idiom exactly? Because I suppose not everybody knows what an idiom
is where you have words or an expression that doesn't actually mean literally what the words are. Let's maybe use an example. The first idiom we have is to kick the bucket. Now, bucket is cubo in Spanish, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cubo. So to kick is dar una patada with your foot. So you'd think, okay, a person kicks the bucket, then they literally kick a bucket. Well, that's possible, of course, but it can have another meaning, which we call an idiomatic meaning, which is completely different to those words. And in English, if you say that, unfortunately and very sadly, my grandmother has kicked the bucket, that means she's died. She's no longer with us. So it also means that she is dead, unfortunately.
She's dead, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was looking for an idiom that is the same in Spanish, and I found estirar la pata. That's the only thing that I found.
La pata?
La pata, yeah. to stretch leg. It's like, well, because when you die, you stretch your legs, I suppose. I don't know.
But would you use that idiom? Would you say mi tío estirado la pata?
I think
would you
so.
use that?
Especially young people would say that, estiró la pata. But I'm not so sure if it is Spanish or South American, because it's the only thing I found. So I'm not 100%, but I think I've heard this, estiró la pata. But you would say, I think I would use this with an animal. Mm-hmm. I would say, oh, el gato ya estiró la pata. The cat kicked the bucket, no? But why would you... What is the origin of this, of kicking the bucket?
Well, it's not perfectly clear. Some websites say that it originally comes from people committing suicide, because if you strangle yourself like this, then you have to kick the bucket from under your feet, and then you can commit suicide with a rope. But more likely it's not that. More likely it's from when people used to kill pigs with a knife. There was a special thing they put around the neck of the pig before they killed it. And in Old English, it was called like a bucket or something similar to a bucket. So hundreds and hundreds of years ago, they used this idea of kicking a bucket to mean killing a pig. And then that became when people die. But be careful when you use this idiom, if you use this idiom, because it's very informal. And if you say it in the wrong situation, it could be offensive. If you go to somebody's funeral and you say, "Oh, I'm really sorry that your dad has kicked the bucket," it's not really. A better expression will be to pass away. That's more polite. I'm sorry your father's passed away. Yeah.
Yeah, and yes, Gemma says is a very informal way, and yes, and in Spanish also you would never say that in a funeral. So let's go to this one. I'll take this one, and I'll leave Craig. He will give us an example. I say as cool as a cucumber. A cucumber, un pepino. As to be very calm. Okay, usually Craig is as cool as a cucumber. I don't think he gets very nervous.
Well, I do, especially if I'm going to give a presentation, because the secret of giving a presentation in front of a lot of people is that maybe you're panicking, you're very, very nervous inside, but you seem to be as cool as a cucumber. You seem to be relaxed and very calm and very collected, as cool as a cucumber. Yeah. And it's because I think it's because inside a cucumber is usually cooler than the outside. If you cut a cucumber, it's cold inside.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. And also a cucumber is going to be in the fridge always, mostly because otherwise it will get rotten. So it's going to be cold. And yes, in Asian food, because sometimes we eat lots of Indonesian or Thai at home, because that's our specialty here. And we always, my husband cuts this cucumber because it cools your, if it is very spicy, cucumbers cools your mouth. It's really good.
Yep.
Okay, and I found tan fresco como una lechuga, but in Spanish, it doesn't mean to be calm. You can say that, for example, you wake up and you're fresh and all that, but it's not necessarily to be calm. I don't know what is the equivalent in Spanish. If any of our listeners or viewers want to make a suggestion, please do so.
Do you know, Gemma? Do you know, Olga, what the Spanish equivalent is as cool as a cucumber?
Yes, if you can think of an idea as tan tranquilo como something like that. Okay, let's go to the following one. This is funny. This is really funny.
So do you say the same in Spanish when pigs fly?
No. That's not true. I don't know what happened, but I had corrected it, and I see that I didn't correct it. Sure. Let me see. I think I can correct it still. No, I don't know. Let me see if I can correct it. Yes. Let me see. It's going to be when pigs fly is cuando las ranas críen pelo. This is very funny, isn't it? Cuando las ranas críen pelo. That is the real one.
Okay.
So when pigs fly, well, you can explain it because I just explained as.
Yeah, when something is never going to happen. For example, do you think that one day there will be no wars in the world and people won't kill each other? When pigs fly, we'll always be at war. We've been killing each other since the Bible. So it's never going to happen that we will stop killing each other. When pigs fly, you would use in that situation.
I thought you were going to say, I'm never going to be a millionaire. That's when pigs fly. And I thought if he doesn't say that, it means that he could still be a millionaire. So,
maybe, who knows? Maybe
I
could marry into money. Maybe I could marry a very rich woman and become a millionaire.
Yeah.
But will my Spanish ever be perfect? When pigs fly, it will never happen. Never in a million years. Okay. Gemma says, when something that seems to be worrying you doesn't affect you. To be as cool as a cucumber. That's correct, Gemma, yes.
This is the meaning, but we're looking for the sentence in Spanish, the phrase in Spanish. If you can think about a sentence that is similar.
What would you say? What would you say, Gemma, if you wanted to appear very calm and very relaxed, but really you're panicking, but you want to give the impression that you're very relaxed? In English, you would say, I'm as cool as a cucumber, or he's as cool as a cucumber, very relaxed and very calm. We don't know if there's a Spanish idiom for that.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for, the Spanish one. But well, while you think about it, I have this one that is very funny too. The lights are on, but nobody's home. So it refers to somebody who is stupid. And according to the dictionary, who also doesn't listen to what you're saying. My case, I only thought that it was referring to somebody who's stupid, because it's like, well, for example, someone who doesn't understand what you're saying, and you repeat, and I could say, whoa, it looks like the lights are on, but nobody's home. Also, quite rude. I'm afraid you wouldn't say that. You would make a comment later. For example, Craig would go to his co-worker and say, oh, that student, lights are on, but nobody's home. He doesn't get it.
Or
I
might say that student's a bit of a bungalow. Because in English, I think in English, a bungalow has a different meaning to sometimes you use bungalow in Spanish, but a bungalow in English is a house on one level, on one floor.
Yes,
so there's nothing upstairs. And if you call a person a bungalow, then they have nothing upstairs, nothing in here.
And I have another one here that is very similar. So here, this is great. Not the sharpest tool in the shed.
Yes, it's very, very similar meaning, because a sharp is afilado. And do you know the opposite of sharp if you're speaking about a tool or a knife? A knife that doesn't cut is blunt in English. BLUNT, a blunt knife. Or you could say dull, DULL. And dull is also not clever. If a person is dull, you can say that they're not very intelligent, not very clever. So not the sharpest tool in the shed means they're not the cleverest person in the room. You can also say not the sharpest knife in the drawer. Has exactly the same meaning.
The same idea. The shed, for people that don't know the meaning of shed, is cobertizo. It's like when you have a garden, you have a shed where you keep your tools, and sometimes also you work there. No? And so if you're not the sharpest tool in the shed, you're not the one that's going to do the work, because you don't have the ability to do that work. And that's figuratively. But this sentence is also in a very popular song of the movie Shrek. I don't know if it has. I don't know if Craig remembers the movie, but it was very.
I've seen the movie, but I don't remember this expression in the movie.
The song is called All Stars, and the group is, I think the group is Smash Mouth. So I am very bad at singing, so I'm just going to say that the second line of the song is, I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. That's what it is. I ain't means I'm not. No? I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. It's referring to Shrek. Shrek is a monster that is green and very ugly, and that's the reason why they say that. Now,
there's another one that I like very much. Its similar meaning is 2 olives short of a pizza. A pizza has olives. So if it's minus 2 olives, so it's 2 olives short of a pizza, it's like saying the person is not all there. The person is le falta algo, le falta un tornillo.
Yeah, 2 olives short. So
2 olives short of a pizza, or two sandwiches. Or 2 sandwiches short of a picnic, you could say. Again, be careful when you use these expressions, because they could be insulting and they could not be very nice.
Say this. Gemma say más feliz que una perdiz, for as cool as a cucumber. No, because it's to be calm, not to be happy. I think there's another idiom for this, but I don't remember now.
Yes, so I would say as happy as a sand boy. As happy as a sand boy.
Well, that's good. This is a very good one.
Very, very happy.
Okay, let's go back to, and this is something that this is for Craig. So Craig is always doing these kind of things.
Actually, I'm not, but I have done it. I have done it before. When I was very young, I think I was 13 or 14 years old, my friend Graham, we used to like astronomy, and we wanted to get some astronomy books, but we didn't have any money and there were no astronomy books in the library. So we went into a bookshop and we took one book each, and we didn't pay, and we ran out of the shop.
And they didn't catch you?
And they didn't catch us. So we did a runner. To do a runner means you run away and you don't pay for things. And it's quite commonly used in a restaurant, for example, or maybe a bar where you drink something or you eat a meal and you don't pay the bill. You just run away, run from the restaurant without paying. Monica, have you ever done a runner?
I don't remember. One time I stole at a shop, but this was really stealing. I was not doing a runner. I was
you didn't run.
No, I was just I wanted to get a lipstick. I remember I was like 6 years old. I just took it and went out, and my father was like very irritated and said, what are you doing? We didn't pay that. And I said, oh, well, but I wanted it, so I just took it. But to do a runner, I don't remember. Maybe could it be that nobody came for the bill? I do remember a situation like the restaurant was very crowded. You were calling the guy, the waiter, and nobody came, and then you just say, okay, I'm going to leave if they don't catch me. But I don't remember the situation.
What about Olga and Gemma? Have you ever done a runner from a restaurant? Have you ever done a runner?
Okay. I put in Spanish hacer un simpa, but probably this is Spanish from Spain and not from South America. I don't know. In every country there is a different expression. Okay, and I know that there are different expressions in different countries, so it's not necessarily hacer un simpa. In Spanish, it's a simpa, but sometimes people say that, the kids say that, and the adults don't know what is a simpa because they're not used to doing that. Okay, it's usually more for kids. And the next one, the next one is quite nice. This is, hey, hold your horses. You have to say it like this. No, hey, hold your horses.
Like a cowboy.
Like a cowboy, yes.
Do you know where it's from, this expression, this idiom? Do you know where it originally comes from?
Yeah. I suppose it comes from the countryside. All these expressions usually
it goes all the way back to Greece, to ancient Greece, when they used to ride with chariots and horses, and the horses pulled the chariots. That was the idea of holding the horses to break the chariot.
Okay, Gemma says, I have never done a runner.
Not yet.
Okay, let's go back to hold your horses. Hold your horses. So it means wait. Before you're going to criticize, before you're going to say something, it's usually a very intense wait, no? Because it's
hold your horses, yeah.
It's very like, don't say that before you know this, okay? I don't know an example like, a very good example when Craig wants to complain about, I don't know, me coming late for the shows. Hey, wait, hold your horses. I was very busy because I was busy with one student and I couldn't come earlier. So before
it's usually me who comes late, not you. But you could also use the phrasal verbs hold on or hang on, which also means wait.
It's more common. Hold on. Yes.
Another expression that's quite interesting is don't be hasty. If you're hasty, you're rushing, you're doing something quickly. So don't be hasty means take your time, hold on, wait a minute, don't rush, hold your horses. But you would use
it in a different context. For example, somebody's doing an exam and you want to tell a student, please take your time to answer, think well, don't be hasty. No? I think it's another
Okay,
kind of
I have an example.
Yeah.
I say to you, Monica, I think in America the situation's really bad with the violence from the police. It's a good idea to get rid of all of the police, to remove the police from society, and society will manage without police. We don't need police. And you say, hold your horses.
No,
If
hold
there's
your
no
horses,
police, then there's going to be more crime.
Yeah, of course. But would you say don't be hasty in the same situation?
Yeah, don't be hasty. Don't get rid of all the
Well,
police.
it's like in a figurative way. Yeah.
Yes.
In a figurative
Don't
way.
rush. Don't jump
rush
too
to
quickly.
do that,
Don't jump. Don't
Issues.
jump to do something. You would say saltar in Spanish, wouldn't you? No saltas. Don't jump to do it. Don't hold your horses. Wait a minute.
Sí, no. Venga, no. I don't know. Again, I'm not so sure what I should say. Okay, let's go to the following one. Everything but, I don't know, this is yours, your turn. Everything but the
my turn. Everything but the kitchen sink means almost everything you can think of. Let me give you an example. When I used to go camping with a tent many years ago, we used to go camping with everything. We used to take pots and pans to do the cooking. We used to take music with us. We took a bed that you blew up and pillows and things to put inside the tent. We took everything with us except the kitchen sink. So figuratively, it means you just take a lot of things that maybe you don't need. So everything from the house except the kitchen sink. And of course, sink is pila in Spanish.
Oh, here we have some suggestion as cool as a cucumber, no tener sangre en las venas. Okay. Could be, but no tener sangre en las venas is quite extreme. Huh? Because it's kind of negative. It's kind of negative. Thank you, Yolanda, for your suggestion. But I think it's kind of negative when I say, oh, but this one, no tiene sangre en las venas, means that he has no emotions, and that's not so good. And as cool as a cucumber, I don't think it's so negative. It's just
do you know the way Roger Federer plays tennis? Have you ever seen Roger Federer play tennis? He's as cool as a cucumber.
Yeah.
He's as cool as a cucumber.
Be there, yeah. But in Spanish sounds very extreme. Huh? And Marta, I don't know, no tiene los patitos en línea. I don't know what it means. I don't know. You can write to us exactly what you mean by that. Okay, we had everything but the kitchen sink. One thing about this, the sink, maybe some people don't know what the sink is. This is very funny because the sink is el fregaplatos, no? El fregadero, sorry. Fregaplatos is the dishwasher. No, el fregadero, where you you do the washing. No,
Is there a difference, Monica, between fregadero and pila? Una pila?
No.
It's the same word.
Pila is probably an older word.
Okay.
Because at the beginning, people started to do it it's just like a fountain, no? Like they went to the river and they had some kind of, I don't know, stone construction to do this kind of thing. And then later it became a sink. Like, so this one is very nice. A storm in a teacup. And this is a very nice idiom because you can imagine what it is, okay? So storm in a teacup, una tormenta en una taza de té, which is impossible, no? A lot of unnecessary anger and worry, especially I think is worry, no? You worry too much about something that is not so important. That's a storm in a teacup. For example, I can say to Craig, why are you so worried about doing the Facebook Live? Every time we start, you're so nervous. It's not necessary. You know everything. You know? This is storm in a teacup. Okay, that's a story. He's always worried about it.
I get very worried, but I look as cool as a cucumber.
Exactly.
Do you know?
You just said to us. You said that inside was you were. Okay, let's see. Marta says nadar contra corriente. Patitos en línea.
To swim against the tide.
Yeah, but there's not. We have not said any other idiom that is not contracorriente. To swim against tide.
So, Monica,
Okay,
do you know anybody who gets very, very angry about something and then it passes? Like they get very anxious and very angry, and then suddenly it disappears. It passes.
Yeah, my father.
So would you use that expression with him? Like it's like a storm in a teacup. He's angry now, but it's going to pass soon. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. This is also possible. But it's a nice expression. It's also, I like the expression because you can even draw it. No, you can draw a teacup and you can put it like it's a storm. And also, I don't know in Spanish, but there is a name for this. Maybe if our viewers can write it down. I don't know, Gemma, Marta, any of you. Yolanda, storm in a teacup in Spanish. Okay, next one. This is for Craig. Until you're blue in the face. This I had some doubts about this. Okay, I'll ask you later.
Yes, when you make a big you're tired after trying many times and you feel like you're wasting your efforts. For example, if you have children and they have a very messy room and their clothes are always on the floor and it's always dirty, you could tell them until you are blue in the face, it makes no difference. They don't listen to you, for example.
You get no results. You're exhausted. Yeah.
Just imagine your face turning blue because you just keep repeating and doing the same thing without getting any results. Another example. Sorry.
No, just go ahead.
Another example here, I have a desk in the flat, and it's not a very big flat, and sometimes my wife leaves her things on my work desk, and that really, really annoys me because this is where I work. This is my space, and I can tell her until I'm blue in the face, but she always leaves her things on my desk.
Yeah.
Perfect example.
And I don't know. Again, if anybody has a suggestion about how to say this in Spanish, I will be very happy to see it because I'm totally lost here. I'm blue in the face. So I thought at the beginning it was just to be exhausted. But it's not only to be exhausted, it's that you're exhausted.
No, it's to be frustrated more than exhausted. Frustrated.
Don't get to the...
For example, you know, with students with the verb to listen, if there's an object after listen, you need the preposition to. But but you can tell this to students until you're blue in the face, and they will say listen music. They never say listen to music. Say no. If there's an object, you have to put to. Listen to a podcast. But the student says listen your podcast. No, listen to, and you can say it until you're blue in the face. Until you're blue in the face.
Say listen to Craig's podcast, English podcast, until I'm blue in the face and
until
still
you're blue in the face.
No, but I have that problem with people is. I said 100 times. No, people are. Oh.
Yeah, people are. It's people plural. You can say it until you're blue in the face.
This is a funny one. So, Bob's your uncle. As simple as that. So, the example is for me, very difficult to think. For example, you have to get home at 2 o'clock, I say to my son, because this is lunchtime. As simple as that. Bob's your uncle. You have to be here. There's nothing complicated about that. Do you understand? Bob's your uncle, okay? Bed at 2 o'clock, not later than 2.
Who is this Uncle Bob that everybody's talking about?
I suppose it comes from cartoons or something like that. No.
I don't know. I'm not sure. But if you want to improve your English and you don't know what to do, go to Monica's blog page and Bob's your uncle. Problem solved.
Yeah, very simple. Yes.
Problem is solved. Bob's your uncle.
In ESOC, we have 2 platforms. And one, you can ask for the request the class, and then in the other platform, that is this one. you have teachers there, and you can select the teacher that you want. So, and in this one, you can request us the teacher, and we'll have teacher in like 24 hours. Okay, another one. Well, I think more or less we're done, but there are some more here. Funny ones. I don't know if you
for donkey's years. Yeah, I haven't seen Bob for donkey's years. It just means for a long time, because donkeys live for a long time. They live until they're very, very old. So if you say for donkey's years, it just means for a long time.
Yeah,
I haven't eaten a paella in a restaurant for donkey's years. It seems.
Yeah, I think we all are in the same situation. For donkey's years, we have not been eating in restaurants like before.
Yolanda says blanco en botella. Bob's your uncle.
Ah, that's good, Yolanda. That's very good.
Is that the meaning?
Perfect. Spot on, Yolanda. Thank you very much. That's
Blanco en el botella. So what's the... what does that mean? Blanco en el botella.
When you have... Suppose you have a liquid that is white in a bottle, okay? And you're not going to say that the liquid is black or green or red. It's white, and it is in a bottle. So there's no argument about it. Everybody understands what it is. Mm-hmm. So it's true. It's true, Yolanda. That's the right one.
Thank you for clarifying that.
And the one that we just said, for donkey's years.
For donkey's years.
The same, yeah, the same. Mm-hmm. Gemma is telling me a white liquid is actually milk. Blanco en botella, yeah, exactly. It's milk. So if you see milk, it's liquid. It's not other thing. It's milk. So it's not, I don't know, paint, or it's not, it's just milk. That's blanco y en botella. That's it.
Bob's your uncle.
Good. Bob's your uncle. That's the... Now,
do you have any more?
Yes, I had head in the clouds. This is something, this is what Craig always does.
Have my head in the clouds.
I love to pick on him.
Hold your horses, Monica. Hold your horses. Just a minute now. What are you saying exactly?
Yeah, head in the clouds. Well, this is not for Craig. It's for many times teenagers have this. We tend to say that teenagers do this because they are fantasizing about life, about they want to do. It's not bad, as long as you have your feet on the ground later, no? Because
which is the opposite, if you think about it. To have your feet on the ground is the opposite to having your head in the clouds.
In the clouds. So daydreaming. Sí. En Spanish es easier. Tiene, bueno.
Daydreaming.
Pajaritos en la cabeza. I think we say pajaritos, birds in the head. Tiene pajaritos en la cabeza. Esta tiene pajaritos. Okay. So in this one, it's your turn, but this is funny.
A person who doesn't speak, a person who has suddenly stopped speaking for whatever reason, you could say, "What's the matter? Why aren't you speaking? Cat got your tongue?" I don't know where this expression comes from. I'm sure it has a history, this idiom. But but it means, why aren't you speaking? What's wrong with you? Why are you not speaking at the moment? What's the problem?
And in Spanish, it's a similar one, but instead of a cat, it was the mice.
The mice.
So the mice ate your tongue, but it's the same thing. But I suppose that it is for children, because children usually do this.
Especially when they've done something bad. For example, if they break a glass and you say, "What happened to this glass? This glass is on the floor. It's in 100,000 pieces. Did you do this?" And the child says nothing. The child buttons their lip, so they're quiet. You say, "What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? Why aren't you speaking?"
I think it's the reason why they use a cat or mice. It's because there's something that for kids is familiar. You know, when you have a cat or they have a dog, they see it like it's around. Also mice in the farms. Mm-hmm. Many of the idioms and proverbs and expressions come from the countryside, because this is when they started to happen. Now we have to chew the fat. That is very funny. To chew means masticar, and the fat is la grasa. But what it means is just to talk, to chat, no? In an informal and friendly way. So here with Craig, when we do these Facebooks live, we are all the time chewing the fat, you know, before we start, when we talk, and then later chewing the fat. So we're just talking, chatting about what happened in life in an informal and friendly way. Yeah. Also, I don't know exactly how you could say that in Spanish. We don't have any more comments. I don't know if anybody wants to add anything. I think I don't have any more. Maybe you want to make a comment on, or you have more idioms?
I think that's enough. We've gone through quite a few. There was kick the bucket, call it a cucumber, when pigs fly, the lights are on but no one's home, not the sharpest tool in the shed, not the sharpest knife in the drawer, to do a runner, to hold your horses, everything but the kitchen sink, a storm in a teacup, until you're blue in the face. And then that's all I had on my list. And then you added some Bob's your uncle. For donkey's years, for such a long time. Head in the clouds, to be daydreaming. Cat got your tongue. And to chew the flat, to talk about things informally, just to chat. Yeah. So try to use some of these when you're speaking English, or when you're writing emails to a friend, or when you're posting on Facebook or on a forum. And if you want to revise them, I'm sure Monica will be writing a wonderful blog post on her website where you can go back and revise and learn these, because it's nice to use an idiom or two. Don't overuse them. Don't use too many. I have a friend a Spanish guy who I work with in the British Council in Valencia, who speaks in idioms. And in every sentence, there is at least one idiom, because he loves them. And it's a bit too much. It's a bit too much. So use them sparingly, which means use them occasionally. But it's nice to include them while you're speaking. And they paint a picture, like a storm in a teacup. It paints a very nice picture for the listener when you use an idiom.
And also, I think what's important is that you can understand them. For me, it's very important that you can understand, not so much use them, but understand, because you get very disappointed when you're listening, and then suddenly there's a sentence there that you say, they say something about a teacup. What was that? And then you block, because this is the moment this happens is that you're completely blocked, and you say, I don't know what's the teacup has to do with the rest of the things that we're talking about. And that's the problem with idioms, that it's very similar with phrasal verbs. There are expressions that it's very difficult to know, because if you haven't heard them and somebody has explained to you the meaning of this, it's impossible to just guess the meaning. You cannot guess the meaning. What is the meaning? So, because this is the kind of thing you learn when you're a child, and you learn it with examples of your grandmother, your parents, and all that, and that's why you learn them. But later, nobody's going to explain to you. And that's why it's so important to learn idioms.
And what will probably happen is you'll hear these, when you listen to English, or when you listen to podcasts or films or TV series, your receptive English will hear them and you'll recognize them, and then you'll start producing them. So usually, now that you've seen a few, if you hear these again, you're, oh yes, that's what Craig and Monica were talking about. And then gradually you'll start using them in your English as you keep studying and keep practicing.
Okay, so that's it. And we have to say goodbye, and we'll be back next week, no?
Yes, we'll be back next Wednesday. Thank you for joining. Thank you for listening, and keep practicing your idioms.
keep practicing. And if you have any questions, you can write to any of us, either of us in Mansión del Inglés, remember, or Blog del Inglés. Okay?
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Stay safe. Bye-bye.